I look forward to this moment all week. Driving out of the city in the middle of the night, off to shoot the sunrise somewhere far away from the noise, the politics, the stress. And today's destination is special. It's my hometown, Peru, Massachusetts. And to mark the occasion, I'm going to record it and bring you guys along with me. Peru's a small town, a mountain town, the highest in the state actually, and there are a lot of mysteries left unresolved from my youth. An old cemetery, a plane crash site that I've never seen, and a massive 400-foot tall Cold War era radar tower. I'm in Peru Center Cemetery in Peru, Massachusetts, where I grew up. This is the gravestone of a captain from the American Revolutionary War. There's a lot of old gravestones here. And you can see this is right in the center of Peru. And there is the Peru Tower, which dominates over the land here. That's at the top of Peru Mountain. 1789, 1801, 1803. You know, I left this town 20 years ago. I thought that was a long time, but most of these gravestones were laid down 200 years ago. It's hard to imagine this small town had an even larger population 2 centuries ago than it does today. That's one reason I love cemeteries. They give you a sense of history. Under the radar tower in Peru is a cemetery. I think it's the perfect spot for one, right on the mountaintop. Maybe this explains why I like mountaintops and cemeteries so much. I've always just found them great places to think. But this cemetery isn't the only thing I came here to see today. Sure, I wanted to see Fullerbrook Falls and my old childhood street, but there's an even bigger mystery. On August 15th, 1942, a troop transport plane from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, crashed into a mountainside here in town. I always heard about the crash site. Today, I want to find it. So I just parked at the trailhead near Garnet Lake in Peru, where in 1942, the worst aviation disaster in the U.S. military history happened. Up until that time. A C-52 troop transporter aircraft was flying in the darkness and the fog over Peru and crashed into the side of this mountain up here, Garnet Mountain. 16 of the paratroopers on board died. 3 amazingly survived with serious injuries. And there's a little memorial crash site up here in the woods that I want to go check out. Hopefully there's enough daylight left to check it out. Let's go see. You start on this old Jeep road, this dirt road, which I would not recommend bringing a car on. And I'm just walking towards the sun. You walk on this road for maybe a half mile, and then the trail goes up the mountainside off on the left. Like I said, about a mile in, you come to some American flags off to the left here and some blue blazes. And down here into the woods takes you to the old crash site. It's at around 2,175 feet above sea level. All right, hopefully there's enough daylight left for me to catch it. Let's move. So you don't go into the trail very far, and basically at this point the blazes are these American flags. You kind of want to keep going forward because that's the way the ATV path goes, but here I notice they go off to the right. So let's see if we can find the next one. So coming down that ATV path with all the American flags, here's a bridge right here. So obviously people are maintaining this trail, even though it's very, very unknown, even for Massachusetts standards. There's another one here. I feel like we must be close, because according to the rudimentary map I have, the marker should be right around here. Let's keep going. And here, folks, we are, the crash site. Yeah, I got here really late. The sun actually sets in like 20 minutes from now. I wanted to spend more time, but you can see there's a placard right here with the names of the 16 soldiers who died, August 15th, 1942. Here's a better look at that placard. I believe it was a C-52 or something like that, paratrooper plane, flying over Peru in the dark, and Garnet Mountain kind of sticks out to around 2,175 feet, like a sore thumb. And they crashed into the mountain in the middle of the night. What I understand is that the three who survived, one of them kept firing his gun into the air for, I guess, a couple of hours. And some of the locals saw the smoke and heard the gunfire and actually managed to come out here in the middle of the woods, miles from any road. And they found them, and 3 of them survived. Notice that some of the metal from the actual plane crash has been preserved. It hasn't all been looted. They've stacked it on the top of this pile right here. This marker wasn't here when I grew up. I heard about this site when I was a kid, but it was more of like a local legend. Hidden in the woods, no one really knew how to find it. This went up, I believe, around 10 or 15 years ago. There was a service. I think the governor may have actually been here. But yeah, I grew up in this town. This is my first time coming here. 16 people lost their life. That's a lot for 1942. Whew. I decided to walk up to the top of Garnet Mountain from the crash site. It's just another 5-minute walk. And right at the top of Garnet Mountain, there's a beautiful ledge right here. I think I'm going to shoot the sunset here. You can look over the whole valley down below. Beautiful spot. And it looks like people camp here. There's a rudimentary fireplace and some logs. All right, let's set up my tripod. Oh, right. There's one more mystery I came to town to investigate. That massive 400-foot-tall tower. You can see it from this ledge, as you can from everywhere in town. Unless you grew up here like I did, then you can't see it at all. Here's its story. It was built in 1956 as a military communications link and radar site in the event of attack or invasion. It used microwaves, as these could be concentrated towards the next tower, and thus less prone to interception. It was a technological marvel in its day, though now it mostly holds cell phone transmitters. They say some people can't see the forest through the trees. I think that's true for all of us. We each have something we lack awareness of, even when it's obvious to others, even when it's 400 feet tall. This was a fun weekend adventure for me. It felt like closing one chapter and opening up a new one where I bring my camera and bring you guys along for the ride. If you want to come along for more adventures with me, exploring cemeteries, parks, and other strange and weird things across America, then do me a favor and like this video and subscribe below. Who knows where I'll be next weekend, but I bet it will be fun. See you next time.